Hi there, we are just back to this angular projection topic, and it is the continued topic because we started the angular projection earlier. You can look at that video where we have started the angular projection and we discussed up to the vertical motion. We considered the vertical motion, and regarding this vertical motion, how many equations we can derive and we can make use of, we have seen that much. Right now, the continuing part of this angular projection is we are going to consider horizontal motion. So the same thing, that the object has been projected from ground and it hits the ground right here. When it is projected with some angular displacement, say theta, and the velocity with which it was projected is, say for example, u. So this u has two components. One is acting along the horizontal direction and the other is acting along the vertical direction. The horizontal component of u is uh, what we denote as, and it is nothing but u cos theta, because the theta is along the horizontal. And here in the vertical direction, this is uv, which is u sin theta. So we have already discussed the vertical motion, so we do not have to deal with u sin theta now. We are just considering the horizontal motion. Since this is the trajectory of this projectile and it hits the ground somewhere here after the time t, where t is considered to be the time of flight, so how much horizontal distance it covered? So say this horizontal distance it covered is x. Then this x equals to the horizontal velocity multiplied with time, nothing else, because the horizontal velocity stays the same, it is constant, as there is no air resistance. So there is no acceleration, there is no deceleration, it remains constant as there is no air resistance considered. So horizontal distance is just horizontal velocity times the time. This time is the time that it takes to hit the ground right at this point B when being projected from a point A. And here, as we discussed earlier, A and B are considered to be on the same vertical level. When the two are considered to be the same vertical level, the vertical displacement is 0. And considering the vertical displacement to be 0, we got an expression of the time of flight. So please, if you forgot it, check the video that we discussed earlier of this angular projection, where we have seen only the vertical motion and we derived all the equations that are related to the vertical motion. And here we are just considering the horizontal motion. This is only the horizontal motion that we are considering. Along the horizontal direction, only the horizontal displacement and horizontal velocity acts. So this is the equation. There is no more equation is considered in horizontal motion. But the thing is here that we can now express this horizontal displacement in different terminologies as well, in different terms as well. See, the time of flight is same for the horizontal motion and vertical motion. The object traveled a horizontal displacement of x all the way from A to B, and in this time it traveled the vertical height h as well. So it rises up to this maximum vertical height and then falls back from that particular height. So it did have the vertical motion as well. So this is why the time of flight is common for the horizontal motion and the vertical motion. and we expressed the time of flight to be twice u sine theta divided by g. This is the expression that we earlier derived in the previous video while considering the vertical motion. So if we just subject this expression of time right here, then we get the modified expression of this x horizontal displacement, which is UH, and UH is u cos theta, the horizontal component of u, multiplied with twice u sine theta divided by g. U times u is u square. This is 2 sine theta cos theta divided by g. And if you know the trigonometric rule, you will recall it that 2 sine theta cos theta is equal to sine twice theta. This is a formula, trigonometric formula. 2 sine theta cos theta can be written as sine twice theta. So I just replace 2 sine theta cos theta with sine twice theta and get the final expression of this horizontal displacement x. X is u square sine twice theta divided by g. So this is the expression of x in terms of the speed at which it is projected, in terms of the angle to the ground while being projected, and obviously in terms of the acceleration due to the gravity. You might have a question that gravity is acting vertically downward, it does not have horizontal component, then how this g is introduced in this expression of x, which is horizontal. So if this question arises to you, just remember this g was not in this original expression of horizontal displacement, the one that we wrote here, x equals to uh times t. This g came because we had an expression of time as twice u sine theta by g, and we replaced this time with this expression. That's why the g introduced here, incorporated here in this expression of x. So the original equation is horizontal velocity times time. But since the time is common for both the horizontal and vertical motion, and while considering the vertical motion, this is the time expression that we derived. So with that time expression, g basically got included in the expression of x. But originally there is no acceleration, no deceleration when the object traveled along the horizontal path, because the horizontal velocity stays the same theoretically, because theoretically we do consider no air resistance to be present. Again, getting back to this equation, x equals to u square sine twice theta by g, this gives us an insight that at which angle the object should be projected to be having maximum horizontal displacement. This maximum horizontal displacement can also be termed as range. What is the range of the object means how much horizontal displacement the object will have once it is projected. So how much the range is going to be if the object is projected with some velocity u, but at some different angles every time. For an example, that object has been projected at an angle of 30 degree, the object has been projected at an angle of 45 degree, and the angle is for the third one, say 60 degree. So these are the three cases. The same object with the same speed being projected but different angle to the ground. So which one will have the greatest range, the largest range, maximum horizontal displacement? Let's look at this equation again. X equals to u squared sine twice theta by g. U is constant, g at a given place is constant. So since u and g are constant, so you understand that x is directly proportional to sine twice theta. X is directly proportional to sine twice theta. That means greater the value of sine twice theta, greater the value of x will be observed. So if sine twice theta value increases, that will increase the value of x, as they are directly proportional. Look at this equation. Sine twice theta is in the numerator. So numerator is always going to be proportional, directly proportional with the left hand side, which is right here x. So x is proportional to sine twice theta. Now the maximum value of x will be found if sine twice theta has the maximum value. So sine twice theta has the maximum value only when it is sine 90 degree, and that maximum value is going to be 1. Sine twice theta has the maximum value when it is sine 90 degree, and that is the maximum value, which is 1. So you just take your calculator, you put down any value of sine and get the value of sine that angle and compare it. You will have the maximum value 1 only when you put sine 90 degree. Sine 0 is 0. Then sine 30 is half or 0.5. So this is how it keeps increasing, and it is maximum at sine 90 degree, which is 1. Again, it will keep decreasing if you increase the angle. So sine twice theta is going to be maximum when sine 90 degree is the angle to be taken, and which is the value 1. So sine twice theta has to become sine 90 degree for getting the maximum value of x. That means twice theta has to be equal to 90 degree. That means theta has to be 45 degree. So if theta is 45 degree, then sine will be having maximum value, and for having this maximum value of sine, owing to the fact same speed with which it is projected, the maximum range you can have. So this is the case when the projectile will have maximum range, maximum horizontal displacement. So the maximum horizontal displacement you are not going to find at 30 degree, you are not going to find at 60 degree even. It is maximum when it is 45 degree, because 45 times 2 is 90 degree. Sine 90 degree is the maximum value, which is 1. So in the numerator, the sine twice theta value when is 1, then the x value will be maximum. Otherwise, for any angle, sine twice theta value is going to have some decimal value, which will decrease the x value, which will decrease the range. So for maximum range to obtain, the object, the projectile, should be projected at an angle of 45 degree to the horizontal. So I hope you understood all the aspects of angular projection. How did we treat the vertical motion, how we treated the horizontal motion, how we are relating the horizontal motion with the vertical motion as well. So things are very much separated from each other except time, because in this time the object is simultaneously showing both the horizontal and vertical motion. So whatever time expression you are getting considering the horizontal motion, you can apply them in the vertical motion, vice versa. whatever time expression you are going to get considering the vertical motion, you can consider this time expression in the horizontal motion as well. But no other quantity, no vertical velocity, no vertical height, no acceleration due to gravity, solely you can use when you are considering the horizontal motion. So that's all for today. Angular projection is done. We are going to solve some questions on projectiles. Hopefully this will help you, and let me know if you have any question, any doubts, any confusions, so that I can address this confusion in my next video whenever I'm going to upload it. So yep, thanks for watching this video. Bye bye.